Well, let's talk about SMX real quick. You and Dino were in a heated battle. There was a little bit of fun over social media, but I think you're safe now with one round to go. Realistically or legitimately, how much of a relief is that to know that you're probably not going to be in the LCQ?
I mean, honestly, I'm still going. I got work to do.
Okay.
Because it's not done. So, it was nice to add some points. I wish I added more, whatever. But, I wish I would have beat Marshall. I think he was on the show tonight. Maybe I don't know if he was already on, but he was only 1 point ahead of me going into the weekend, and he beat me both motos. We battled a little bit the second moto, and man, I wanted to actually get in front of him and just give myself more, points on him. But he's been riding really good, and but no, at the end of the day, I gained some points. It's good, but it's not over till it's over. So yeah, I got some more work to do, and well, it's racing. It's fun, honestly. Like it's a little stressful, like. When you think about it one way, and at the same time, like if I could pick, hey, you're 100% good to go, it would just be like a relief. Okay, I'm good, nothing to worry about. But at the same time, I'm in a good position, and we got 2 more motos to do, and just go out there and face the challenge and accept it, embrace it, and go have some fun. I'm kind of buddies with Dean. Like we're pretty good friends. Our wives are pretty good friends, and on one hand, it's like. It's cool. Like, obviously I want to beat him, not just him. Like, I want to be in the playoffs, right? If it was anybody, I'd say the same thing. It's not just Dean, obviously. I want to be in the playoffs, guaranteed in the playoffs. So regardless of who it is, that's the case. But we're pretty good friends. So that's cool. But at the same time, when I really think about it, Dean he's a really good rider. So just to be battling with him is cool. He's a little bit younger than me. So I got to see him coming up and whatever, like back when I was younger. But to be battling with him, it's pretty cool. I mean, dude, he's a national champion. Like, you know what I mean? He's won an outdoor title, and that's somebody I'm battling with right now. So when you put it in that perspective, it's pretty cool. Now, I have to block that out, obviously, and be like, well, right now, I can beat that guy, potentially. I got to do what I got to do. But just at the end of the day, it's cool. Like I said, it's all good stuff, all positive.
We've gotten so used to like you and Nicoletti, and it's gonna be tough when you guys go, man. We gotta find these other guys that we cheer for because
I'm gonna be sad.
It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and it's crazy just how fast it goes. It's been so much fun, and like but it goes by in a blur. Like it goes by so fast. I think just because we're always grinding, we're always looking forward to the next thing. You don't really get a lot of time to kind of sit back and reflect, in our sport because we have so many races and it's so spread out through the year. And, man, they just fly by. But when you actually like take a minute to pause and look back, it's like crazy how much stuff I've done and places I've traveled, like dirt bikes have brought me to. So it's just been awesome. And like I said, at this point in my career, I really enjoy it because you still take it for granted sometimes, but, you take it a little less for granted because, I'm just like, man, one day the light at the end of the tunnel is like, it gets closer and closer every year.
Yeah.
Like I can't do it forever, unfortunately. So like I said, you just kind of learn to appreciate it more and not take it for granted as much. And, sometimes the crappy days or whatever aren't so bad when you kind of, look at it from that perspective.
So I have a kind of a different way to look at this. SMX is bringing a lot of the riders out to the outdoors because they're trying to get into this payoff. Do you think someone like your caliber, where you're finishing, could make the amount of money you'll make at SMX if the pay for the outdoors was the same as it is Supercross? Like without the extra races, but just more pay for
more money in nationals.
In the nationals.
Probably not, just because there's not enough races, right?
Yeah.
Like I would say if you go around 15th both motos, I mean, you guys probably know it better than I do. It's not that much, whatever, for the amount of work that we do for it. But say it's $1,000 or whatever it is, per weekend. Supercross, if you got 15th, I think you might make like what, $2,500 or so, something like that.
Yeah, I want to say it's like $3,000. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say it's $1,500 more a weekend. Well, you only have 11 weekends, so it'd be another $15,000 that you'd make, 15, 20 grand maybe. Where playoffs, if you make it in, you're making about $2 or $3 grand per weekend for those races, plus the payout at the end, the 30 or 35, whatever you make, 25 to 35, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you still end up making more. But I do wish, I'm sure they'll adjust some things as we go and, whatever. It's only the second year doing it. But I feel like more of the pay needs to go to outdoors. It's so much more work for everybody, for the teams, the bikes, the parts, the truck drivers, the mechanics, the riders, everything. It's so much more work and harder work than Supercross. And the pay is considerably less when you compare the amount of work, and wear and tear that goes into it. So I wish somehow the outdoors pay got brought up, because honestly, the only reason, like, you see more guys doing outdoors, right? But they're not doing it for the outdoor pay.
Yeah.
They're doing it to hope to get the playoff pay.
Well,
Yeah.
So it's like a guy like Marshall or Harry Coulis and those guys. They're losing money going outdoors, or if they have good sponsors, they might break even or whatever, right? Even if they go there without spending money, they're not making much money. The amount of work they're putting in, they're not making enough money to make it worth it. What makes it worth it is making it into the playoffs and getting that payout. So I just wish they would, incentivize us more to do outdoors just in general, and then the playoff thing just be a bonus. A little bit lopsided in terms of, we have 22 outdoor paying motos and only 17 supercrosses.
Right.
And we all know Supercross is really, that's why we have 17 of those and only 11 outdoors, right? Like, I feel like somehow it needs to be a little bit more even, or maybe a little bit more Supercross focused, like maybe 60% Supercross, 40% motocross. And right now it's kind of the opposite. If you, really look at it, it's more like, it's more beneficial to be an outdoor guy than a Supercross guy, to make the playoffs. Like a guy like Coulis he can never even learn how to ride Supercross, touch a Supercross track, whatever, right? And I'm not saying he can or can't ride Supercross. I'm just, for example, somebody like that, he doesn't even have to come and ride Supercross and participate in Supercross, and he's still going to make it into the playoffs.
Yes.
Where I feel like there needs to be something that, like, makes it to where you got to do both or whatever, you know what I mean? It's only the second year. I'm sure they'll do, change things in the future as it goes. But, yeah, like I said, I do feel it's a little bit leans towards outdoors a little bit more than I wish it did. Like I said, that's kind of the frustrating thing with outdoors is it's supposed to be the best outdoor series or whatever, and the pay doesn't reflect that, whatever.
Yeah.
And when you really think about it, everything about it, and I feel like this is not a crap on outdoors segment, whatever you're going to call it, but because I like Davey Coombs, I like them, I love outdoors, and it's more to sign up to race compared to Supercross. It costs more to sign up to race an outdoor. It costs more to get your license for outdoors. It costs more to get guest passes for outdoors. To go attend the race costs more money than Supercross. But then the pay is like half. And the work is like double, right?
It's less
like
than half.
Double the work. Yeah. It's double the work. It costs more money, and it pays you less than half, like you just said. If you could work at McDonald's and you get paid whatever for Supercross, call it that. You work X amount, you get paid this much money. Why would you ever, why only work for McDonald's for 6 months and the other 6 months I go to Burger King and it's double the work and it costs me more money to go work there and I get paid less than half?
Yeah.
Well, why would you go do it, right? Like, why would you go take another job and do that? Why would anybody do that?
Are you tired of this grind yet?
Yes and no. It's a grind for sure, but honestly, I like it.
Yeah, I know.
But you always like, I wish I had a little break, but like, we had like a 2-week break, back a few weeks ago, whatever. And it was nice. But by the second weekend, it was like, okay, this is weird. Like, it feels like I haven't raced in forever, whatever. So you want the break, but then you literally get, 10 days off or whatever, 2 weeks, and you're like, we got to go again. Let's go.
Yeah. That 3-week break was a long time. I mean, it was 3 weeks, 2 weekends. It did feel like a long time with no racing.
It did. Like, honestly, by the time we went back to, what was it, Unadilla?
Yeah.
It was kind of like, man, I feel like I haven't raced in so long. And like, when you do a lot in a row, you kind of get like in a rhythm and like, whatever. Like, you kind of like race on Saturday, fly home on Sunday, take Monday off, ride Tuesday, ride Wednesday, fly back Thursday or Friday. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of just like keep chugging away. but it does wear on you. That's the grind. But then you're like, okay, I need a week off. And then it's like 2 weeks off was almost like too much. It was like, okay, now I'm like out of my rhythm. It's like, wait, I got to pack my bag again. It's weird having 2 weeks off when you've been grinding for 28 weekends or whatever.
Absolutely.